So I took the challenge that this is a newly founded school. So I took the challenge how to develop the school so that the children from rural community get the best of it.
Hello and a very warm welcome to Great Principles. I am Seema Choria. We have a very dynamic personality with us today. She has been an educator for past 20 years and her forte is in blended pedagogy, administrative management, growth marketing, counseling and mentoring amongst a host of other specializations. She's a blogger and a writer. Her articles on parenting and emotional intelligence and my K-12 journey have been published in newspapers and journals. She has been a speaker and panelist on several talk shows and is an active member of numerous committees and forums such as Association of Indian Principals and Sports Academy Association of India, to mention a few. If this is not enough, she holds a diploma in fashion designing and initially started her career as a lecturer at INIFT. No wonder in 2017, the All India Citizen Development Center awarded her with the Active Principals Award in recognizing her efforts in trying to find new ways to modernizing the learning culture. It's an honor and great privilege to welcome to show Miss Shenilay Roy, Principal, Satyamev Jayate Primary School, Haldia, West Bengal. Welcome to Great Principles, ma'am. It's an honor to have you here.
Hello and good evening to all. And especially I'm grateful for this wonderful introduction of mine, and my best wishes for your endeavor to bring the educators from all over India in this platform. And this is a really an amazing platform to highlight the educators. Otherwise, they are not being highlighted all the time. Thank you for having me here. I think I'll be having a wonderful time discussing with you regarding different topics and all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's really an honor to have you here. Ma'am, we would like to inform you that we'll keep this interview in Hindi and English both, so that we can reach out to masses. So, first, ma'am, first, ma'am, we would begin, ma'am, by knowing something about you. आपके बारे में जानना चाहेंगे. आपने education में entry कैसे की? How did you enter your education career?
Yeah, let me start that as a child, I was always open to learning new things. हमेशा मुझे बचपन से याद है कि नई नई चीजें सीखूं या उसको how to utilize that in my daily life and all. So that is how this process is continuing till now. अभी भी मैं कुछ ना कुछ कर रही हूँ, सीख रही हूँ, कुछ कोर्स वगैरह कुछ भी. I am involved in such things because I think there is always something to learn from life. The more you live your life, jitna life में, the more you get experience in life, you can live more purposefully your life. तो इसलिए ये अभी तक जारी है, कुछ ना कुछ सीखने की बारी. और I try to instill that in my students too. उनमें भी वो पैशन चाहिए कि वो भी कुछ सीखे, हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ सीखते रहे. So that is how I can say कि from childhood this process is continuing. Now coming to my background, academically I graduated in plant biology as well as history. And after that postgraduated in sociology, and then completed a diploma in fashion design. As I have mentioned, I have a varied interest. So I was also, along with that, very much enthusiastic about participating in sports and other extracurricular activities. So I give importance to that too in my school also. कि academic के साथ साथ हमेशा वो extracurricular activities में भी all the students should participate करनी चाहिए. So that is how my academic background is. And then I started my career 20 years ago as a lecturer in fashion design at National Institute of Fashion Design at Ahmedabad. And I continued there for 2 years, then shifted to teaching in school. And actually, I have traveled all over India almost, and then worked in various institutes around India. So this different cultural background, एक state में आप जाओगे ना तो will find कि there is difference in their dialect, रहने सहने की या culture कुछ भी. So that has brought me, I mean, my life in a different perspective, because I have interacted with so many people in my life till now and worked in more than 10 institutes actually. So it's a vast experience for me to gain knowledge, enrich myself. So that is how my career is continuing. And after that, in 2017, I grabbed the opportunity to join as vice principal of an ICSE affiliated school in West Bengal. But there, I actually officiated as principal. So that school was in rural Bengal. So first time I got the exposure to work in a rural community, and then shifted to my present school in 2020 April onwards. This school is also in the rural area of West Bengal, entirely rural and remote place, rather I can say. So I took the challenge that this is a newly founded school. So I took the challenge how to develop the school so that the children from rural community get the best of education. So that is how I'm working here from 2020 onwards, and let's see how it develops in future. So it's all about my background.
So this is ma'am, Shanoli ma'am, who is ready to accept the challenge, and she's very spirited. Bring it to me and I'll do it. And she's a lifelong learner, and that is what she teaches the students also, because learning is a continuous process, and that is what evolves a person. So going ahead, ma'am, अभी आपने हमको बताया कि आप इंडिया में अलग-अलग जगह पे घूमे हैं, and you have been into various cultures और cities देखी हैं, बहुत सारे इंस्टीट्यूट के साथ में काम भी किया है. तो आपके हिसाब से एक आइडियल स्कूल क्या होना चाहिए? What is your picture of an ideal school?
Yeah, according to me, an ideal school should be where the atmosphere is safe and supportive, healthy and happy. If when all the staffs and stakeholders, they are cooperatively working in an organization and they all are happy with the outcome, I think that defines an ideal organization, be it school or any other organization. That is the main objective, should be. And in my wherever I have worked, I always focused on giving stress in open communication. Students, staffs, or jo bhi ho, parents, they can come and they are open to communicate with me or other staffs or other members. So that because if there is clear communication, you can find that many problems are easily solved. So that is where I always try to focus on. There is open communication, there is proper collaboration among all the stakeholders.
Absolutely, ma'am, a wonderful thought. That is what a school all about, an atmosphere of safety, security, learning, and making all the stakeholders involved. On this note, ma'am, we will going ahead. Ma'am, आपका जो current school है सत्यमेव जयते, इसके बारे में जानना चाहेंगे. ये स्कूल की philosophy क्या है और ये स्कूल कैसे यूनिक है?
Yeah, पहले मैंने बताया कि this is entirely in the remote corner in a rural area of West Bengal. So basically, the philosophy of the school is to bring the rural children into an atmosphere where they can, in later life, they can step into a global community with equal confidence, whereas they do not forget about their traditional values. So this is mostly the philosophy of the school. That जो लोग गांव में रहते हैं, most of the time they do not get proper education, especially learning in English medium. It's a taboo for them. They do not get to learn things in English. Mostly they get to admit in the local schools that only run in their mother language. But here in my present school, we are running the school in English medium, as well as giving importance to develop the local culture or our tradition of our country and their mother language also. So that is the uniqueness of the school. They are getting that all the global exposure sitting at the rural community or at the remote corner of the country. And the USP of the school is it is very much student centric. So we try to find out that maybe the student is in has been grown up in a rural community. But if you find, you will find there is uniqueness among all the students. जहाँ भी आप जाओगे आप वही देख पाओगे कि कुछ ना कुछ यूनिकनेस है. हर एक स्टूडेंट इज डिफरेंट, एक से अलग है सब कोई. So we try to find out that uniqueness and try to inculcate that skill in that student, so that in later life ऐसे नहीं है कि सबको ही एकेडमिक साइड जाना चाहिए या डॉक्टर इंजीनियर लॉयर ये सब छोड़ के भी अभी बहुत सारे अपॉर्चुनिटीज आर कमिंग इन अदर फील्ड्स. So we want to give them confidence कि when they grow up they can choose their career according to their skill set or whatever they are passionate about. So that is the USP of the school. We are not only inclined in academics, but also give importance to various other skills and extracurricular activities and everything. Even there is a piano even there in the school. So there are drums and all, so that students can develop that culture. That is rarely we can find out that in a rural school all these facilities are there, but in my school all these facilities they are been given. So that is the USP of this, and I feel pride and privileged to be associated with such an organization where I can contribute my expertise to bring out the best from my students.
Absolutely, ma'am. You know, a wonderful school with a beautiful philosophy of educating the rural children, giving them the world-class education and making them global citizen by building their proficiency in global language, that is English. प्लस साथ ही साथ हम उनको एक्सपोजर दे रहे हैं, डिफरेंट स्किल्स सिखा रहे हैं ताकि वो लाइफ में और आगे बढ़ सके. सो गोइंग अहेड मैम, पैंडेमिक कोरोना सब पूरा एजुकेशन सिस्टम इसने चेंज कर दिया. सो आपसे ये जानना चाहेंगे कि व्हाट अकॉर्डिंग टू यू डू यू फील दैट classrooms will turn out to be stronger, you know, that the teaching methodology will become better after post COVID, or how it would be?
Yeah, so last 2 years, it's almost 2 years, the education industry's complete transformation. So pehle hum log wo classroom education and all this, and now we are more often, we are certain terms that has come out like online education, quarantine and all these topics related to that pandemic. So the education system is totally under transformation. We are now highlighting on online education only because that is the norm is given. But we hope that after this pandemic is over, the normal classroom will be started. But we have to maintain the COVID protocol a few more years, I think.
Right.
So ऐसे कि students अभी online education ले रहे हैं, but the school culture while coming to the school together, playing with friends, sharing tiffin and all this school culture, they are absolutely missing out. So to some extent, I feel they're being isolated. थोड़ा isolated. जो online class, I regularly observe the online class. पर school आके वो friends के साथ वो खेलना, थोड़ा लड़ाई झगड़ा होना, फिर हंसना खेलना कूदना, वो सब जो school में है, वो totally that they are missing out. I can feel from their, I mean, the way they behave or they talk and all. So yeah, this school culture will, yeah, when they will come back to school. So firstly, they may be somehow after 2 years of sitting at home and this online education, that has an impact on their mind. तो उसमें अभी habituated होते जा रहे हैं. So when they will come to the school first time first, so they will be there will be certain protocols that we have to maintain, like social distancing, wearing mask and all. They cannot play together in a group, large group. So I think especially this primary students, the elder students, they can understand, but it will be difficult for the primary students to adjust in the classroom when it will open up. But along with that, we have to think of different other aspects also, because we cannot accommodate large number of students in one class. In that case, we have to shift to hybrid classrooms. Some part will be taught online and some part in classroom, or there will be alternate attendance of students and all that. So this protocol has to be maintained. Apart from that, I think it will take time for the students, especially the pre-primary and primary students, because the pre-primary section, I have those who have admitted in nursery last year, they didn't even visit the school. They have no idea of classroom teaching, actually. From the very beginning, they are learning online. So when they will come to the school after 2 years, while they are into standard 1 or upper KG, so the first time they will be entering the school, they are studying for 2 years. So all these factors we have to think about, and then we have to strategize how the school can run. But I think it will take time to get adjusted for the students. And after a few months, like they are now adjusted in online teaching, they will be enjoying more in classroom atmosphere, like previously they used to be. That is what I think.
Absolutely, ma'am. Schools beyond COVID, it doesn't look that easy, and we feel कि चलो खुल जाएगा and सब normal हो जाएगा. It is going
बहुत
to
सारे
change.
दिख है जो हमें, because it is starting from the parents also. They need to take care of the child, whether they are coming to school properly equipped with all these things, mask and all other things. So that will be a big hectic schedule, I think, for students, parents, for us also to maintain everything. So initially that will be hectic, but gradually everybody will be adjusted with that.
There are both sides of this, and this is what all the challenges teaches us.
Yes. That is that.
So हम अभी मैम बात कर रहे थे ऑनलाइन लर्निंग की, डिजिटल लर्निंग की, और आपने जैसे बताया आप रूरल एरिया में आपका स्कूल है. मैम हम सिटीज में प्रॉब्लम फेस करते हैं इंटरनेट की, गैजेट्स की. पेरेंट्स कंप्लेन करते हैं आप दोनों बच्चों की क्लास एक टाइम पे लगाओगे, हमारे घर में एक ही मोबाइल है, एक ही लैपटॉप है. हाउ डू you are adjusting to digital learning and in our rural area?
Yeah, that is the toughest challenge I am facing. I gradually now, after 1 year, it has been adjusted. But initially, because these parents, they do not know how to handle a smartphone properly. That was the biggest challenge, to make them educate how to operate WhatsApp grouping. We focus on creating WhatsApp group, because that is the easiest one for them to know about things. Gradually, now we are shifting to Google Meet or Zoom or like this. But initially, it was a big challenge for us to make them accommodate in a single group, class-wise group, and how it works and all. And the main problem is that is what you say, in cities or in urban areas, we find that there is networking issue. But in village areas, so most of the time there is networking issue. So whenever there was no fixed time, actually, whenever the network is available, we are conducting classes like this. Or parents are communicating, even 11 p.m. at night, parents are communicating with us, with the teachers. Teachers are communicating to me. So that is how somehow we have to adjust, and that learning process should not be a hindrance. And moreover, the parents, they are not very familiar with this. The way of teaching that we follow in the school. They do not have any English medium background and all. That is the main problem. So we have to explain everything to the parents in our mother language, because now so they are playing an important part in the child's learning, because they are learning at sitting at home.
Right.
So this was a huge task. I cannot just explain my mouth. I should appreciate my team on helping me solving out these problems. So somehow we managed, because now the learning process, the outcome that we are getting, we have a Facebook page where we regularly update. The students are performing various, participating in competitions, sending us videos, performing and all that. We feel happy that seeing that, yes, now we have been able to guide them in proper way through online mode. So that is how it has come.
This is commendable. I mean, hats off to you and your teachers. In cities, it took so much time to get used to this, and I can just imagine it's you guys who have proved this, that anything is possible. You know, जिनको English ही नहीं आती है, smartphone नहीं पता है, technology नहीं पता है, उनको online
सबको एजुकेट करना, फिर ऐसे ग्रुप में डालना और समझाना, और फिर वो लोग भी, आई मस्ट से कि पेरेंट्स आर आल्सो encouraging their students to participate करो, इसमें करो. We are also conducting various workshops on regular basis to educate the parents also. Sometimes we are participating in international competitions also. So my students are doing everything. So that is the main point of happiness, that we have to overcome the challenge.
So true, ma'am. You know, this is the biggest achievement in sitting in our rural areas, first educating the parents, then ensuring that the learning must go on. So hats off to you and your team, ma'am. हम अभी बात कर रहे थे कि पेरेंट्स का रोल कितना क्रूशियल हो गया कोविड की वजह से एजुकेशन में. तो मैम, जैसे आपने बताया कि अब पेरेंट्स के बिना हम लर्निंग को इमेजिन नहीं कर सकते, तो ये जो बॉन्ड है पेरेंट और स्कूल का, हम इसको और स्ट्रेंथन कैसे कर सकते हैं? इस लिंक को और ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग कैसे बनाया जा सकता है आगे भी जाके, मतलब जब स्कूल फिजिकल क्लासरूम चालू हो जाए?
I have always given importance to that. I have mentioned where all the stakeholders cooperatively working to bring the best from an organization. So अभी जैसे हम लोग अभी भी पेरेंट्स को हमेशा इन्वॉल्व करते रहते हैं. So we have this special meetings with parents, where the class teacher have created groups, separate groups for students, separate group, parents separate groups are there. So there is weekend meeting with parents, and there is also individual parent teacher meeting happening. Now it is happening online, but when the school will run in normal mode, then also parents are always been invited to participate in various events. Even in my previous school, that is what I have applied. Sometimes we invite the parents, some of the eminent parents, they can conduct workshops in the school. Sometimes they volunteer in the school whenever there is any event like Christmas carnival. So parents are more enthusiastic about volunteering over there. They are setting up stalls also, with food stalls or their handicrafts or anything. And that is how I find people, and we always try to keep in touch with parents, because they know better about their child, and they will always want their child to get the best. So that is a normal routine. To weekend calling to the parents is a normal routine for us, for wherever, whichever institute I have been worked as principal and all. So I made it a point to connect with the parents, and there is sometimes the parents remain busy. So we have a parents feedback portal where whenever they have find time, they can, whatever output they want to give, they can put down. Even in the same way, teachers also put down the output of the child's learning, or in certain area that they need to focus on, and all these. So that is how we are always actively associated with the parents collaboration in the institutes.
So एक बहुत ही सिंपल सा फॉर्मूला मैम ने यहाँ पे बताया, आप पेरेंट्स को डे टू डे एक्टिविटीज में इन्वॉल्व कर लीजिए and then see the magic happening of how beautifully the child learns and shines. So wonderful, ma'am. Going ahead, ma'am, आपके बहुत सारे achievements है 20 years की education journey में. So there are so many accomplishments and recognitions. Which one you are most proud of? We would like to know.
Okay, see, accomplishment or achievement, whatever may be, relates to me how much I am valued by people. Okay, so it doesn't relate anything to power or awards and all that I am getting. So I feel very happy that I am very much a people's person. That means people are easily approachable to me. I have mentored people from all around India, from different background, be it different economical strata or social strata. They feel free to come to me and discuss about their problem, and they expect me to give some solution. So because they have trust in me, so that is what I have found in my life, which I feel is the biggest achievement. Because wherever I go, I get very easily I get linked with the people, and they find me a very good friend or philosopher or guide, whatever maybe. Even in school, my children, my students feel very happy when I am around. So someone, suppose a small child comes and hugs me, and that I feel they are happy seeing me. So it's not there is any distance between me being principal and my students. They are gifting me flowers and all. They come to my cabinet, gift me flowers and all. So that is why I feel this is the biggest achievement of my life, that people find me approachable. They love and respect me, and that's how I think I can leave a legacy in the society. That's how. So this all regarding my accomplishment.
It's so wonderful to know this, ma'am, that you believe that if people can count on you, trust you, and to find you worthy enough to share your opinions with them, which are a guidance for them. So that is what makes you happy. So on this note, ma'am, we are reaching to the very interesting segment of the show, which is called Rapid Fire Round. You have to answer in one word only. So here comes the first question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds
So
interesting. That sounds interesting.
Sure, ma'am. So let's go for this now. My first question, does our technology connects us more or isolates us more?
Both ways, connect the world to us and sometimes isolate us from our immediate family. That is what I have experienced.
Brilliantly answered. Now the next question, name a school principal you admire the most.
Yeah, it has to be my own school principal. I studied in a missionary school, and I always thought my principal as my idol. She was that grounded, humble, calm, and composed, and I admire her the most.
Okay. Great. So going ahead, ma'am. Next question. Do you think there should be only one board, educational board in the system, in educational system in India?
Yeah, definitely there should be one educational board with standardized marking system and student-centric flexible curriculum all over India. So that will be great for the students, teachers, all the stakeholders, I think.
So a definite yes for one board. Going ahead. Now this particular answer requires 3 words from you. What do you feel are 3 most important skills to become a successful teacher?
First is the communication, definitely. Second, I think patience. And third, according to me, should be innovation in teaching.
Great. So communication, innovations, and patience. are the three most important skills according to ma'am. Going ahead, ma'am, what type of school curriculum is best for child development?
Yeah, I feel that it has to be learner-centric as well as application-based. Students should learn something that they can apply on their daily life. The curriculum should be like this.
Great. So ma'am focuses on more of skill development sort of program, which gives an opportunity to apply learning to practical knowledge.
Apply,
Going ahead, the last question of this segment. If you could change one thing in education, what would it be?
Yeah, I actually I thought about that for a long time because that change must be there in the Indian education system. That career counseling should begin from primary level only, because a student may be skilled in some particular thing which has not been highlighted in primary education. Students should be given an opportunity to choose their own subjects from primary level. Suppose they are good in sports, want to pursue a career in sports. So here we find that according to timetable, there is hardly 2 days are there in a week that students are participating in sports. Whereas he should take sports as his main subject, along with that he can take other subjects. So I believe that this should start from primary level onwards. Skill-based, giving priority to the students' needs on skill, and there should be career counseling from the primary level only.
Ma'am, if this is applied, we are going to see a lot of wonders coming in. You know?
Yes.
See, it is essential to
students do not get that opportunity. Na? If he is inclined to sports, he is getting only 2 classes for sports, or someone is inclined to music. That is also happened that these subjects do not come in mainstream education. These are always looked as extracurriculars. But that can also be a mainstream subject. That if someone is inclined, their skill is related to that particular subject. So that is what I want the change to come from primary level onwards.
Yeah, I think this is, this will be like, blazing out. If this happens, it will ignite so many young minds, and we will see a great, career options coming in. Going forward, they will be skilled themselves to pursue their own journey. They don't need to look for jobs. They will be entrepreneur themselves. So it's really going to be a very wonderful thing. So going ahead, ma'am, we got to know on your professional front. Ab jab ma'am kaam nahi karte ho, to what you do, what are your hobbies, and your sports you're involved in, and how they help you?
Yeah, actually, I am involved in various activities because I said from my childhood, I am always ready to learn new things. जितना आप सीख पाओगे वो सीखते जाओ तो वो अभी तक भी जारी है. तो बेसिकली आई ट्रैवल अ लॉट. मुझे घूमने का बहुत शौक है, लेकिन आई ट्राई टू एक्सप्लोर ऑफ बीच प्लेसेस जिसमें जहाँ टूरिस्ट जाते हैं वहाँ पर मैं कम नहीं जाती. आई ट्राई टू एक्सप्लोर न्यू प्लेसेस जहाँ जाके वहाँ की जो कल्चर है उसको एक्सप्लोर करना, क्योंकि अब इन इंडिया इज सच अ वर्सेटाइल लैंड. Wherever you go, you can find there is some difference. Even inside one state, if you go from one district to another district, you can find there is differences in dialects, in food habits, in their culture, in dressing habits and all. I am very much fond of exploring all these things. इसलिए मैंने बोला कि बहुत सारे लोगों के साथ I have interacted. So इसमें कैसे I get to learn many things from there, and they also ask about me or where from I am coming and all these things. So these have enriched me, I say, in life. That is what I also imply on when I frame the academic planning or anything regarding my professional life. Because I have seen a variety of culture, variety of people from different backgrounds, I have an idea which way I can make my students more engaged, because I know from the grassroots level, I have interacted with them. And another thing, I always take photographs. Photography is my another hobby. So I take photographs. I later on I think about that. I arrange them, these photographs and all, whatever things I mean things I have explored or whatever is my experience, that I write down. So I have blogs, 2, 3 blogs I have, 3 on Instagram, one related to travel, one related to food, and another related to education. And another personal blog is there where I discuss about various topics. So basically, I'm involved with all these. And apart from that, I am associated with various organizations. Whichever people or cause I find interesting, I try to get associated with them. So like I am a volunteer in WWF or PETA, because I find this could help these animals. It's not only dealing with human being, also we should think about the environment or animals also. So I volunteer with various organizations. As you said earlier, here I am associated with SPA to spread awareness among sports education. That is where there are various career options available in, that students can pursue, apart from this mainstream, some core career options. So I want to spread awareness among all those career options, like in sports. Various opportunities are coming out in sports industry. So these, and apart from that, I am also engaged in women and child empowerment. So related organization associated with, so that I can mentor whenever it is required. So these are all I am multitasking always, and over the years now I have learned to manage my time accordingly. This has helped me to be more, delivering my professional activities more efficiently. Actually, managing time, multitasking, all these has all these my hobbies have helped to develop all the professional activities.
So today we have with us a writer, a blogger, a traveler, जो अपनी हर याद को capture कर लेते हैं एक सुंदर सी photograph में, and she relives it again, those beautiful moments that she has captured. So, and also she volunteers in many associations, conserving nature, looking out for women and child. Ma'am, it's absolutely, wonderful to know you, so much. You are involved in so many activities and you're finding time for your hobbies, and it's helping you becoming better at your profession. So absolutely, it's wonderful to know you on this front also. So ma'am, this brings to me to the last question of the segment. Recently, ma'am, आपका एक article publish हुआ था Wednesday Times में about emotional intelligence. So ma'am, would you like to tell us, our parents, our viewers, so what it means to parent with emotional intelligence, what it is all about?
Yeah, basically I did a lot of research regarding this, because dealing with students over the years and parents and as an educator, I have found that in our society there is a taboo if someone is successful, who's getting better grades in school, whose IQ level is high, that person will be successful in life. That is a general, idea among all the people, normal people. So that is how I did the research and find out that the research has found out that truly successful people, those whom we see as our idol, they are not only higher level of having higher level of emotional, IQ, but actually they have the higher level of EQ, that is emotional quotient or emotional intelligence, as well as social intelligence. So what is that emotional intelligence or emotional quotient? Basically, emotional quotient is to identify your own emotion, understand it properly, and to understand the emotion of the people around you. So how you can work accordingly to your emotion and others' emotion, so that everybody feel secure and happy whenever you are around. So, and parenting also, parenting is, as we all know, that rearing of the child from birth to the adulthood, and it involves a lot of dedication, hard work, consistency, and all. So, when you are rearing a child with emotional intelligence, that means you are highlighting the emotion of that child. That means how you are emotionally bonding with that child. You should, as a parent, they should give that support to the child, that grades are not everything. They should
Right.
help them to cope with other emotions of life, the ups and downs of life. Okay, they should mentor them emotionally. Sometimes I have found some parents are overly protective, or sometimes they are giving the child whatever he is asking for. So there should be a balance. You should not be overprotective and shield your child from all the bads of this society. So it is normal if both the parents are in argument in front of the child, that is normal. But they should teach that after the arguments gets over, they should resolve it amicably in front of the child. So that triggers the child. It is normal when you are surrounded with people or living with people. You have to adjust with something. There may be argument, but this can be amicably resolved. So when that child grows up, he is quite balanced in his own life. He doesn't feel the stress or burden of the society. There may be various the social aspect coming into his or her life when he's grown up, when facing the world, growing into his career and all. So he can suits up himself. He or she can suits up himself, can manage their stress properly, because they have seen how their parents are emotionally inclined to each other. They have arguments, they have differentiation, but they are attached, and they have supported the child to grow. Because the child also knew from the beginning that whatever may be his or her background, he maybe they fail in their life in securing good marks or not, they always have their parents' support. So that gives them the confidence. So this is all about parenting with emotional intelligence. We should see that our child is capable of handling various stresses in the life in future when they are growing up, be emotional or be it mental or anything like that. So we always think about a child is doing particular behavior, is making tantrum or like this. So we try to feed them some discipline, some rules, social rules already are there. But we do not always try to find out what is the reason why the child is doing like this. And basically, it has been found mostly because of some emotional upheaval, maybe the child is behaving like this. So the parents have to learn, because these days parents are they are also very busy, and sometimes they also do not understand about their own emotional changes. So it requires a lot of dedication and time. But parents should allow their child to communicate with them. They should think them as their friend. The child should think the parents as their friend, where they can tell anything under the sun. They can discuss anything under the sun. And they know that my parents are there to support me. Whatever may come on me from outside, I have my parents back. So when they are growing up or becoming a parent or mixing in the society, or I mean, whatever maybe the field they are going, so they can cope up with all the ups and downs of life. And I feel that is how a person might be successful. Uh, so once they are being able to cope up in a society wherever they may be, maybe their parents or anybody is not there, but they have that strength to stand out. So that is how we should make our child uh, to grow up, like, and not only catering how much marks or grades they are bringing from the school or other peer pressure or anything like this. How they are performing in school, that is not the way to get success in life. Basically, we should, if we want our children to be happy and stable in life, we have to guide them accordingly so that they are emotionally and mentally stable first. And as well as physical stability is there. We always, parents are there always to take care of that physical stamina. But along with that, mental and emotional stamina is also required. And that is what emotional parenting with emotional all about.
To all my parents out there, मैम ने बहुत ही अच्छी तरह से यहाँ पे explain किया है कि what is parenting with emotional intelligence. Stop labeling your children, giving them certificate on the basis of their marks. Their marks is not that is going to matter in life. So very beautifully explained by ma'am. So ma'am, it was with this we come to end of this episode, and I'm really thankful to my collaborators, the Art Hotel, School Ka Dost, and also to our academic partner Jeevan Deep Publications for presenting this episode to us. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your time. It was wonderful to have you. We got a lot of insight, and it was wonderful to know you. And I'm sure my viewers are going to get a lot of insights from this discussion, ma'am.
Thank you to you too for giving me the opportunity to express my views on this platform, and my best wishes for opening this platform for the educators like us, where we can share our views and opinions. Thank you very much.